community and YouTube viewers everywhere. This is Chris. Rather than last couple of videos have all been music updates and things, but rather than just keep buying stuff all the time, I thought I'd show some mostly existing pieces of music. But I'll start off with this book CD combination. Gravichords, whirlies, and pyrophones. So this is a little 96-page book with a CD accompanying it of various musical instruments that people have created and made records with. So, it's got some normal names in here: Don Buchla, Leon Theremin. Seems like there's another one, Harry Parch, Hans Reichel. This has a foreword by Tom Waits. And, like I said, this CD with samples of this unusual music. And just by coincidence, I was watching a James Buttery recent video, and he showed the Scratch Orchestra, and Phil Dadson, who was originally a member of Scratch. Oh, this is Scratch Orchestra was the original one that Brian Eno was part of, and then Phil Dadson went on to create from scratch. And so James was showing this album here with the PVC pipes that they were used to create their sound. So I thought that was interesting that I just stumbled across it when I opened this booklet. And let's see, Hans Reichel. Showing some of his instruments. He created something called the Daxophone. So, interesting read for people interested in obscure, make your own instruments. Now, the other thing, then I just, for some reason, I started pulling out 10-inch albums. So, this was Art Tatum, Piano Virtuoso on Guild Records. I think this was 1949, maybe. Couldn't find much information about Guild. The inner label shows that REM Hollywood, however they're related to Guild. And then another Art Tatum, Piano Solos Volume 1 on Decca. This is around, I think these were 1945 recordings. Originally they were issued on a series of 10-inch 78s, and then they reissued them on 33 and a third, and so they were able to get all the sides onto one 10-inch. And staying with the this jazz piano theme, Oscar Peterson. Piano solos. Again, this was originally put out as a series of 78s, and this is the reissue around 1950 on Mercury 33 and a third 10-inch. Then in the early 80s, several labels started putting out 10 inches for some reason. So this is a Epic. They called it their new disc series. So Ricky Nelson, 1981, 6 songs. New disc. For You was the title of this, even though they put 5 songs on it, I think. Oh no, it's only 4 songs. One's just got a long title. Takes up 2 lines. And there was a David Bowie put out 1981, Don't Be Fooled by the Name. Put out in 81, but it's 1966 recordings. David Bowie and the Lower Third, something like that. On, it's like PRT. And the last of this batch, Cheap Trick. Found All the Parts. Live recordings from one per year, shown on the title, 76 through 79. This was also an Epic new disc. You see that label there? It's got a little face on it. That's the drummer, Bun E. Carlos. So evidently they put out many variations of this label. They've got the Tom Robin version, which Tom Peterson and Robin Zander's faces are on each side. They've got the Rick Nielsen version and some other combinations, but this is the Bun Eve label variation. So his face is on both sides of this record. They do Day Tripper, Can't Hold On, Such a Good Girl, Take Me, I'm Yours. So power pop from Cheap Trick, issued in 81. Access was issued in 1980, but live recordings from 76 through 79. Some versions of this included the single, which they were promoting at the time. Everything works out if you let it. So this is a white label promo. Same song on both sides. And I found, or I had inherited this Korean Folk Dance Music's Volume 2, put out on the King Star label. It appears to be in Korean, possibly. So not much information other than this is volume 2, and I did see a volume 1 in Discogs, but don't know when they were issued. I suspect it was the mid-60s. I got this from my girlfriend who was overseas with her dad in the military. So I think that's where that came from. And that just made me, I don't know if this came from her also, Taste of Honey with their big hit Sukiyaki. On Capitol, backed with Don't Let You Lead Me On. And with that sort of foreign theme, Another 2 more 10-inchers. Ima Sumac, voice of the Exotica, or as haters would say, this is poor old Amy Camus from New Jersey, but don't know. Has a you know, very extended vocal range for these folk songs from Peru area. Andes. This one's on Capitol. I think this is around 1953. And the other one is Inca Taki, also on Capitol. I think this one's around 1956. Moises Vivanco seemed to have written the songs or the lyrics, and Ima is the vocalist. And now moving up to actual albums. Esquivel, Other Worlds, Other Sounds. So this is in the sort of the exotic space age lounge music. Living Stereo, RCA. I think this is around 1960 or late 50s. Stereo, so use some stereo effects on there. Juan Garcia Esquivel's pianist, so you get to hear his piano playing, which they describe as sometimes you think there's 2 pianists, even though it's just him. And then this was a recent finds antique vault, or not very recent. This is several months old. I just excuse me, never had cause to show it. The Orlons. On Cameo. 1960. So lots of dance songs. Wa'atusi, amongst others, which reminded me that that's such a popular dance song. And this one I missed the season with it, but John Zackerley, Monster Mash, who does a version which is called Weird Watusi. That was written by Man and Appel, who wrote the majority of the songs on this album on the Windcoat label. So they also wrote Hurry Berry Baby, Let's Twist Again, Mummy Time Is Here, Gravy with Some Cyanide, Popeye the Grave Digger, the aforementioned Weird Watusi, Pistol Stomp, which is the Davels who did that, Bristol Stomp, and the Ha Ha Ha. And then one other, which is also on Windcoat label, 30 Dance Hits, performed by the Shotguns. So they also do Watusi, do the Freddy, do the Cha, Gravy, Let's Limbo, Let's Twine, Everybody Jerk. And That Windcoat label in my handy Peaches music chain sleeve. So that was, well, there were three more, three more recent acquisitions. Americana, Louis Moreau Gottschalk compositions for solo piano. This is the banjo, played by Eugene List from 1956 on the Vanguard label. And Eddie Harris in the UK. The Eddie Harris London sessions. You may have seen some other London sessions like Muddy Water, Howlin' Wolf, Chubby Chuck Berry. So this is 1974 on Atlantic. So this is Eddie Harris on electric sax, backed by a bunch of prominent London or UK musicians, Zoot Money, Jeff Beck, Albert Lee, Stevie Winwood, Ian Pace from Deep Purple, Rick Gretsch, Alan White, Chris Squire, Tony Kaye, so some Yes members. They're on the Conversations of Everything and Nothing track, which takes up most of side 2. So, sort of rocky jazz compositions. Eddie Harris. Alright, so that'll do it for this short version of non-recent finds, even though I threw in a few anyway. But alright, thanks everybody. I'll see you later.